Today's Namaste Yoga continues our cultural conditioning series. Hello and welcome to episode 174 of Namaste Yoga. We're continuing our cultural conditioning series and we're talking about being desensitized to violence. It's our first class recording outside in the cold because Tim doesn't feel the cold. My fingers are already white, so Tim's happy. I have gotten so many amazing testimonials this week. It was actually easy to choose which one I was going to share this week because we have a fabulous one to choose that relates to this week's theme really well. But I could have shared so many testimonials this week. There were many that spoke about how the cultural conditioning series is really speaking to them. There are ones that were so many that were just bringing me to tears, but the one that I'm going to share with you, just touched my heart, and it's going to touch your heart too. You're all going to be in tears when you hear this one, and it really speaks to our theme about violence in the media and being desensitized to violence. So, are you ready? This comes from Jack. It came to me in an email, and he says, "Hi, Melissa. I'm a mid-20s combat veteran suffering from varying aspects of post-traumatic stress disorder, to include anxiety and nightmares. I've gone to VAs and VFWs, but it's always the same. I'm pitied by some, not taken seriously, or fed pill after pill after pill. As a young man, I feared for my future. I've been sick, in quotes he says, for about 2 years now, with no signs of brighter days. I saw a video of a man, a hero in my eyes, who was plagued with MS and was expected to never walk unassisted again. It may be a different sickness than mine, but in the end, it is also the same. We are both trying to overcome our bodily and mental foes. We had both wanted to change, to be rid of that which is holding us back from happiness. Here is the video. Please watch it and admire the man as I have." And I think probably many of you have seen this video because it was floating around Facebook and the internet. We'll put it in the show notes. It's a man that also worked for the military and was dropped out of planes, and he ended up not being able to walk because of the impact of falling from a parachute so many times, and he found yoga as well. And through that, he began to be able to walk again. So Jack says, "I thought to myself that if he could make it through that, then I could make it through this. I looked around for some yoga lessons and I came across your videos. It has only been a month, but already my days have become a little more bright. The dark cloud that haunts my dreams at night grows a little more distant with each passing day. I look forward to continuing to watch your videos, to see the sickness left behind, and I look forward to a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for what you do and for indirectly lightening my world. Best regards and all the gratitude." I'm obsessed, Jack. So thank you. And thank you for leaving your comments on my website and YouTube and your 5-star ratings on iTunes. And there are instructions on how to do that at thankyoumelissa.com. So we're going to talk about this a lot today, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But thank you to Squeezed Yoga Clothing. I'm wearing, of course, my Flying Heart outfit today for loving kindness, what we'll be focusing on today, and my Flying Heart pants. to remind us about loving kindness. And thanks to Dusky Leaf for our yoga props. So today you're going to need, if you have a meditation cushion or something to sit with, we're going to be doing some sitting loving kindness meditation. You're going to need a block. And you can go ahead and rest back, and we're going to start contextualizing today's class. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Tuck your shoulders in underneath you. If your low back is tender, you can bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. And take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. Cultural conditioning are the social processes in which authority figures, such as parents, professors, politicians, religious leaders, peers, and the media, advertising, define our cultural values, beliefs, ethical systems, and ultimately the way we perceive ourselves in the world. This past week, on Monday, April 15th, 2013, 2 explosions occurred near the finish line at the Boston Marathon, about 4 hours after the start of the race. 3 people were killed and more than 170 were wounded. When events like this happen in our own backyard, many of us are shaken to our core. The media perpetuates the original act of violence by playing the original image of violence again and again, numbing us into fear, making us feel like helpless victims of violence. Yet, we consume a steady diet of violence as entertainment through movies, books, television, video games, and information news channels on a daily basis. We think we are not personally impacted, that our homes are not affected by the violence we willingly allow to enter with the push of a button. In our minds, a steady stream of violent self-talk beats up our self-esteem, and yet we are bewildered as to where this violent conditioning comes from. We do have choices, and we do have agency. Peace starts in our own hearts. Rumi says, the wound is where the light comes in. The wound we feel from devastating acts of violence such as these are the opportunity to allow the light in. First in our own hearts, then in our own homes. First, turn off the violent media. Make your homes a safe haven of peace, starting with yourself. One person at a time, we can create peace on earth. But it is going to take an army of spiritual warriors giving up violence in favor of peace. By the time you are 18 years of age, you will have witnessed 200,000 acts of violence and 16,000 murders in the media. I'm not here to question the causal relationship between media violence and violent acts such as the Boston Marathon explosion. I am here to question the widely accepted use of violence as entertainment and informational news. What effect does this have on your psyche and personal agency? Is it creating more peace in your life? In your home? Patanjali's Yoga Sutras offers up the yamas, which are the codes of restraints, abstinences, and self-regulations, and involve our relationship with the external world. The first yama, Ahimsa, means non-violence, non-harming, and non-injury. Book 2, verse 35 states, as yoga becomes firmly grounded in non-injury, Ahimsa, other people who come near will naturally lose any feelings of hostility. The focus of Ahimsa works on 3 levels. First, thought. Second, speech. And third, action. When you focus on non-harming thought, then speech, and finally action, your natural love will come shining through. Reflect on the theme of Ahimsa, or nonviolence, in your life, in your thoughts, words, and actions. What would you most like to get out of this class? What is your intention for today's class? Once you've formed your intention, you can go ahead and wiggle and stretch out and bend your knees and roll to your side and make your way up onto all fours. We're going to focus a lot on heart opening postures to open up the hearts of our spiritual warrior selves today. We're going to begin with cat pose. So coming onto all fours, your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, and exhale and round up through your back. And inhale and arch through your back. Breathe out and round up through your back. Breathe in and arch through your back. And then from here, we're going to come into thread the needle pose to release your spine. So inhale, reach your right arm up, and exhale, take your right arm between the space between your left wrist and your left knee. And lower your right shoulder to the ground and the right side of your head to the ground. Keep your right shin connected with the ground and rotate through your spine. And then slowly come on out, and we'll go ahead and do the other side. So inhale, reach your left arm up, reach your left hand through the space between your right wrist and your right knee, lower your left shoulder to the ground, left side of your head to the ground, tuck your chin. Okay, and then slowly come on out. And we're going to do puppy pose here. So come towards the back of your mat. And you're going to reach your arms forward and lift your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Keep your legs at a 90-degree angle towards the ground. Open your heart towards the ground and rest your forehead on the ground. So nice heart opener here. If you don't have any neck issues, you could always come up onto your chin here as well and look forward. Okay. And then bend your elbows and come forward. Back up onto all fours. And we're going to do lunge pose. So coming up. And let's walk your left foot forward first. Lean forward into lunge pose. And we'll actually do this as a warm-up for warrior one. So sink down into your left foot, come upright, and inhale, take your arms up. And then slowly lower your arms down and let's switch sides on that lunge pose. So step your right leg through. Sink down heavy through your front right foot. And come upright, tuck your tailbone under, drop your right hip. Reach your arms up. Lift your heart. And then go ahead and come on back down, and let's, from here, make our way up to standing. So let's transition through downward facing dog. Coming on to all fours, take your hands slightly forward of your shoulders, your knees slightly back of your hips, tuck your toes under. Inhale, exhale, lift your hips up to the ceiling and straighten out through your legs. And then walk your feet into your hands and roll up to standing. Okay, so from standing, we're going to do some of the warrior poses to connect with our spiritual warriors selves and our warrior hearts. And this is about remaining open and grounded and connected in what can be a violent world sometimes. And so what we're going to do is stand at the top of our mats, the front of our mats, and you're going to take a big step back with your right foot and turn your hips to face the front of your mat and sink down. That was the word I was looking for before, front. Sink down through your front left sit bone. And we're going to do warrior one with lotus mudra today to keep the open heart. This is about having the courage to face the world with an open heart. And you can hear that beautiful bird. So most of the time the world is a beautiful place. And then you can let this side out of your body. And we'll repeat that on the other side, so standing at the front of your mat. And go ahead and step back with your left foot now. And turn your hips to the front of your mat. And you can, if this is hard on your knees and if you have any knee issues, come up onto the ball of your foot on your back leg, because then that'll be a straight line from your hip, knees through your ankle. And then sink down through your right sit bone and come back with that lotus mudra. Okay, and then go ahead and let this posture out of your body. Okay, and shake it out. Okay, we're going to do warrior 2, so standing at the top of your mat. And let's step back with your right foot again. So this time, you're going to line up heel to heel if you're a woman, heel to arch if you're a man, and sink down through your left sit bone again. Your top of your leg's going to come as close as you can towards parallel to the mat. You're going to bring your arms up parallel to the ground, and you're going to gaze over top of your left fingertips. So in Warrior 2, you stand in the present moment, and you gain all your wisdom from your past. You stand in the present, and you gaze into the future. You want to make sure your knee is rolling out so you can see your big toe. So go ahead and straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in. Turn your right toes out, and let's just go ahead and sink down through your right sit bone, roll your right knee out, and let's do that on the other side. Keep your heart lifted. And remember your bandhas here too, so draw up through your pelvic floor, draw your navel back through your spine. That will support your SI joint here, your pelvic structure. Okay, and then go ahead and release this from your body. Okay, we're going to do a variation on Warrior 3 today, where your arms are going to be by your side and lifting up like this, so that you're doing a more open-hearted version. So you're going to stand with your arms by your side, and eventually you'll turn your palms towards the ground and open your chest. Okay, so but we'll start with your palms by your side and stand on your left foot. And then what you're going to do is hinge through your hips and tip your body forward. And then turn your palms down and lift your arms so that it'll work better like that. Like that. I think palms up towards the sky works better. Okay, so mine only held for 7 breaths. That was as long as my balance today on that side. Take a deep breath. Okay, so try the other side. Standing, rooting down through your right foot. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward over your right foot. Okay, roll your shoulders back and up and lift your arms up towards the sky. An open-hearted warrior 3. Good job. A little bit of traveling on that warrior 3 too. Okay, shake it out. And then we're also going to do peaceful warrior today. So standing at the front of your mat and take a step back with your left foot. And reach your arms up, hips face the front of your mat. And just arc your left arm back and look up. And then releasing, and we'll do peaceful warrior on the other side. So take a step back with your right foot. Arc your arms up. Hips are facing the front of your mat. Take your right arm back and arc back. And then go ahead and let this out of your body and shake it out. Okay, so from here, we're going to come down and we're going to do a pose of surrender. Just like the peaceful warrior was a pose of surrender and letting go and coming back. So you're going to come on down. This is rabbit pose. It's about surrendering your head below your heart. And so you start on all fours. This is the way I like to come into it. And you place your head below, between your hands. So this pose is pretty much safe for everybody unless you have any eye issues where you can't have pressure on your head like glaucoma, or if you have any serious neck issues, like in your cervical spine. So you're going to place your head between your hands. And the top of your head will be quite tender. That's really normal. And then what you do is you take your hands and you interlace your fingers and reach your arms up, and then that's your rabbit ears. Okay, go ahead and release your rabbit ears. Take your hands on either side of your head and press up. And then come to a seated position. And let's just release your neck. Just a little bit of neck circles here. Okay. So we're going to do, it's spring in Canada. My hands are Canada warm. Okay, we're going to do a twist. I need Donna to make fleece-lined bamboo tops. Okay, we're going to do a twist here. So you're going to sit in easy pose, and you guys can sit in a little bit more normal way without tucking your feet right underneath you. But you're going to take your left elbow, I'm going to have to sit normal, I think, to the outside of your right knee. And this is why you're supposed to practice things before you do them on camera. Never try something in front of your class for the first time. Okay, so this is the twist. Let me give you options. How about that? Left hand to the outside of your right knee. Okay, there's the twist. If you want to go deeper, and if you can take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, and your palms might be able to come together. For me today, this is enough. And then come back to the center. And let's do that on the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. And if you wanted to go deeper, you could take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Maybe your palms come together to twist. Okay, and then come on back to the center. And we're going to do loving kindness meditation now. So if you wanted to get in a more comfortable position for sitting, like with your meditation cushion or in a chair, you can do that. Okay, so get comfortable. Sit in a way so that your spine is straight and you're centered. Your ears are back over your shoulders. And this is the loving kindness meditation that I shared on Monday evening and that I offered up on the Facebook community, and some of you joined me in practicing together. We practiced it at 7:30 and 8:30 again for half an hour as a community. And these are the phrases that I settled on at that time to send to those affected by the Boston marathon explosion. It's a prayer for world peace and peace on earth. And it's based on the phrases of loving kindness. And so you just simply repeat these phrases silently to yourself. You may want to connect with your heart in some way. You might want to place your hands on your heart. You could do Anjali Mudra at your heart. You could do Jana Mudra at your heart. There's no right or wrong way to do this, better or best way. So just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And let it fall out of your mouth. May all beings everywhere be free from inner and outer harm. May all beings everywhere be safe and protected. May all beings everywhere be courageous and strong. May all beings everywhere experience peace on earth. May all beings everywhere be free from inner and outer harm. May all beings everywhere be safe and protected. May all beings everywhere be courageous and strong. May all beings everywhere experience peace on earth. May all beings everywhere be free from inner and outer harm. May all beings everywhere be safe and protected. May all beings everywhere be courageous and strong. May all beings everywhere know peace on earth. May all beings everywhere be free from inner and outer harm. May all beings everywhere be safe and protected. May all beings everywhere be strong and courageous. May all beings everywhere know peace on earth. And take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. And you could practice this for 20 or 30 minutes. And now I'm going to get you to rest back in Shavasana. And I'm going to share with you a poem that I've got on Facebook that Patricia Walden, who is a very famous yoga teacher, shared in her yoga class following the Boston Marathon yoga class. It's a poem for all beings who wish to know peace. So rest back on your back and make yourself comfortable. If your low back is uncomfortable, bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you and turn your palms up beside you. Take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. The poem is called Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. And now we will count to 12. And we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would not look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now, I'll count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. As you reflect back on today's class, what stands out to you? What seems most important? And how does that connect with the rest of your life? So how will you take that with you off your mat and into your life? Not in an earth-shattering, change everything, violent kind of way, but in a non-violent, ahimsa, small, manageable little change kind of way. Gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle and stretch out. Bend your knees. Roll to your side. Make your way up to seated. Thank you for joining me for episode 174 of Namaste Yoga. Thank you so much for leaving your comments below. I love hearing from you. I read every single one of your comments and I respond to them. I just love hearing how you what you think about this cultural conditioning series. Namaste.